Hey, fabulous 6th grade. Okay, so today we have some notes, some new math notes. So on our other table of contents page, our first one, I'm getting down to the bottom and it was really hard for me to write on these last 3 lines, so I went ahead and changed the page. Because we are on page 30, and so on the back side of that first page for the table of contents 30, writing, solving, and graphing inequalities, and the date is 2-2. Some of you it'll be 2-3. So then we'll turn to the next available, right and left side page thinking. And so many of you yesterday received a foldable to help us with these notes. So you're going to put 2-2 2021 at the top, page 30 down here in the bottom right hand corner. Writing, solving, graphing inequalities. And our objective, and I know this isn't the neatest of handwriting, says I can write, solve, and graph inequalities by extending and applying my knowledge of one-step equations and number lines with integers. Okay, so I'm going to give you just a second to get that written down. Okay, so the next thing you have is you have a foldable that looks like this, and it's got this side. So what I want you to do with this side facing you, actually no, with this side facing you, this is the one it's got a canny walkout. So where it says trim here, I want you to trim all the way around it on the bold lines, and if you'll notice in the top corners of this thing, it says cut this rectangle out and discard. So cut them both out and discard. Down here is your word bank, okay? This is something that you need to keep with you. Don't throw it away just yet, as you will need it when you get into the foldable. So go ahead and pause the video, get this foldable cut out, go ahead and fold it to the center. So you'll fold these and you'll cut them into flaps there, like you know. And so then your finished product, when you get it all cut out and ready to go, and you get it folded, it's going to look like this, and it will open up much like this. Okay, remember, don't glue it down until we're finished writing in it. So pause the video, get it cut out, and then come back. Okay, so now that you have that cut out and you're ready to go, we're ready to write in it, we're going to talk about these things. Now there's 3 of these symbols that we've worked with for a long time. This one is the greater than symbol. This one is the less than symbol, and remember we read things from left to right. And then this one is the equal to. Now here a couple weeks ago I introduced you guys to the does not equal to, but I didn't tell you what it was. I actually wrote that symbol on a few things. So we're going to add 2 more to the list here. This one is greater than or equal to, and this one is less than or equal to. Okay? So if you will, go ahead and on the outside of the flaps, go ahead and write those. So greater than, or equal to, that's when it has the line down here, equal to, and then we're going to come to the right, this is less than, or equal to, and this is not equal to, the one on the bottom. Okay. Now some of these, if you'll look in your word bank, you'll see that here they are, less than or equal to, greater than, no less than. We're going to get to some of those, okay? Equal to, less than, not equal to, or greater than or equal to. So those are some of the things that we wrote on the outside here. So now we're going to move to the inside. So this first flap, we're going to come under here. So this one is greater than right? Okay. This next one is greater than or equal to this one is equal to, and something that I want you to write here is the keyword is the same as being equal to. So when you see like an inequality or an equation that has to do with an inequality, the word is, so if it says y plus 6 is 8, then is the equal sign. Okay? So then we're going to move to this side. This one's the opposite, so it's less than. The next one. Less than or equal to. And then this one is not equal to. Okay? Now that's not all we have to write in these. We have a few more. Ouch. Okay. So if you look at your word bank, you have a few of them that are still left over that we haven't utilized yet, meaning we haven't used. So we need to use those. Okay. So I want you guys to look at a couple of these right here in the middle. This one, this greater than or equal to. Another terminology for this that you will see is no less than. So if it's no less than this, that is another way of saying greater than or equal to, especially in word problems. Another one is at least. So when I tell you to give me 110% at the very least, that's what that means, okay? It means it's greater than or equal to 110%. So then let's move to the right here. This one is no more than. It's also at most. So if Miss Lewis says at most you will solve 11 problems, that means that it's going to be less than or equal to 11 problems. Okay? So when we go to understanding equalities, this is the information that we need to know. Okay? When we're writing inequalities, this is what we need to know. Writing and understanding goes right here in this center part. Okay? So now, another thing that we're going to go ahead and do today so you guys can start thinking about it and thinking about what it looks like on a number line. So we go back to our number lines and we go back to integers. And something that we remember is the further to the right of the number line, the greater it is. And the further to the left, the least it is. Whether we're dealing with integers or whether we're dealing with just positive whole numbers. Right is more, left is less. Okay? So, on this one, what you would do is if you had an inequality that said x is greater than 3. Okay? So if it was x is greater than 3, what it would look like is you would put an open circle on 3. Okay, so it has an open circle, meaning 3 cannot be a solution. And then if it's greater than 3, you're going to draw your arrow going this way, meaning all solutions to the right of 3 make that statement true. Okay? But 3 is not a solution because 3 is not greater than 3. Does that make sense? Okay? So we're just drawing the pictures for our graphing, and we'll do some more with graphing later on, where we actually plot it on there and we solve for it and things like that. Okay? So now let's move down the way. So now we have greater than or equal to. That means that whatever number you say, so for example, if I said x is greater than or equal to 3, that means 3 can be a solution. So that means we put a closed circle on 3, meaning that it is a solution, and then everything larger than it or greater than it is also a solution. Okay? Okay, so when you have equal to, like x is equal to 3, that means that you're just going to put a big closed dot on 3 because that is the only solution. Okay, 3 is the solution. Okay, so now let's go to the other side here where we have less than. So I'm still going to use x is less than 3. So it's still 3 cannot be a solution because 3 is not less than 3. It could be 2.9, 2.8, any of those, but it has to be less than 3. So I would put my open circle on 3, and then I would go left. I would go less than 3. Okay? Less than is going to point left. Okay? So then the next one is less than or equal to. So if x is less than or equal to 3, that means I put the closed dot on 3, and I draw my arrow to the left. Okay? And then not equal to, you put the dot, so if it says x is not equal to 3, you put an open circle on 3, and then you put arrows going both directions, because that means that it is not equal to 3. So it's every solution that is not equal to 3 is what this means. It can be greater than 3, it can be less than 3, but it just can't be 3. Okay? So that is all that we are doing for that foldable today. And that's all that we're doing in our notes for today, because that's all you really need in order to understand inequalities and in order to be able to write them. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to take this and we're going to close it. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to do dot, dot, not a lot. And remember, if you don't have glue at home, that's okay. When you guys get to Miss Lewis's classroom, you know where the glue is. Use it. Make sure you wipe it off when you're done using it. Okay? So dot, dot, not a lot. And what we're going to do with this foldable, if I can get my hands to work, I apologize, is we're actually going to paste it right underneath our objective, but we're going to paste it as far to the left as we can get, because we're going to add on to this note page, and more than likely we'll either start a new page or we'll go to the left hand side. I haven't decided which yet, but this gets us started for understanding inequalities, because we will be writing, we'll be solving, we'll be graphing them, and so we're just going to keep learning what we've been going over. So tomorrow, when you have me in class, we actually have a worksheet and we have some fun things that we're going to do, and we're going to be writing them. Okay, so that being said, let's see here. You need a fantastic, fun little entrance ticket. Let's see here. So we're going to put entrance ticket. This is going to be 2, 3 through 4, 2021. And I'm going to put ET for entrance ticket. Okay? So your entrance ticket is, you're going to write an equality for the following statement. Macy's pet weighs at least 18 pounds when pet is X. Okay? So I want you to write an inequality. So the pet's value, okay, Macy's pet weighs at least 18 pounds. Okay? And if you want a few extra brownie points, graph it. Show me what it would look like if you graphed it on a number line. Show me what the dot would look like, what it would be on, and which direction it would be pointing. I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.